Good morning, everyone. Beautiful day here in California. As you can see, kind of cleaned out my engine compartment a little bit and my block. This way, when I actually do get everything back together and I start it, if I do have any leaks, it'll be easier to see and easier to trace. So I would recommend doing that. But as of right now, I am working on my head gaskets. I got one side on. I decided to fiberglass them. See what happens. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll find out. Well, my first layer was actually done with biaxial. This is what we use for structural repair on boats. And then this here is a surfboard mat. This way, with the thicker one on the bottom and the thinner one on top, I'll match up with the thickness of my old head gaskets. Maybe just a little thicker, which will give it a little room to smush. As you can see, I got my heads back on. I ended up finishing my new head gaskets that I made, but I didn't record it because I had a family emergency and haven't quite filled up the par, but I'm getting there. But now I have to do my timing, which I already have my cam gears, or my cam pulleys lined up. You see, I remarked them because they were a little faded, and there was a dent right there. Same with this one. I remarked it, and there was a dent there. Now, when it comes to your crankshaft pulley, typically this is behind my crankshaft pulley, but unfortunately it's broke, so can't use that. It'll never give me the right timing. So if you look, once you take everything off, you can look behind here and you can see I marked them in yellow. There's a hump in the back, and then there's an indentation right there on your pulley. Get those lined up. That's your timing for your crank. Now most would tell you that you had to take this cam gear off or pulley off, but I don't want to do it that way. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pull all my tension up, all my slack out from the bottom. Make sure I'm nice and tight. I'm going to take a pair of vice grips, just clamp it down on each one. Once I got that clamped down, all I got to do is drop the intake manifold on, and that pulley will tighten it all up and hold it in place. Easy enough. And as always, just as important, make sure you get top dead center on your distributor. It's a little tricky, especially when you're putting the distributor back in, because you got to advance it just a little bit, probably about 1/4 of an inch, and then the spines will make it twist back. You got to get it just right. So just take your time, make sure you get it all right. Now once you got your timing all set, you want to go ahead and start laying out your wiring harness, because you don't want to forget before you put your intake manifold on, you want to make sure you hook that sensor back up.